You want to withdraw how much? 2 million rubles, the woman said calmly. The bank teller blinked. Then, without bothering to hide her smirk, she looked the woman up and down and said, Are you sure you're in the right branch, ma'am? The woman didn't flinch. Yes, I have the account number. I just need the funds today. The teller leaned in, her voice laced with sarcasm. Do you have any idea how much 2 million rubles even is? Do you... That shut the woman up for half a second. We don't usually deal with large withdrawals like that without prior notice, the teller snapped. And definitely not from people who just walk in off the street in flip-flops. There was a moment of silence. Then the woman slowly reached into her bag, pulled out something flat and slid it across the counter, an ID. The teller leaned forward. But before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from. And if you enjoy stories like this, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow's story is even more special. Now, back to our story. As the teller's eyes scanned the ID, she froze. Her smirk vanished. Her jaw slackened. Because what she didn't know, what she couldn't have imagined, was that the woman standing in front of her didn't just have money. She owned the very building the bank was in. Her name was Cruz, and what led to that moment was a story far deeper than a simple cash withdrawal. That morning, Altha had woken up before sunrise in a quiet village outside Moscow. She lived a simple life. Up early, made breakfast, tended to her small garden. Her clothes were modest, her sandals worn, and her voice gentle. Nothing about her appearance screamed wealth or power, and that's exactly how she liked it. For the past 20 years, Altha had quietly built her fortune. She wasn't a celebrity. She didn't post online, didn't show off her wealth. Instead, she bought land, built apartments, and invested in local businesses, especially those run by women. She was a multi-millionaire. But today wasn't about wealth. It was about a promise. Her younger sister, Abigail, had been saving up for years to open a daycare for low-income families. She had just secured a location. All that was left was the final payment, due by 5 p.m. Altha had been saving double what her sister needed, just in case. She didn't want to wire the money. She didn't want to call ahead. She wanted to walk in, take out the money herself, and hand it to her sister in person. But the moment she stepped into that polished branch in the corporate district, the judgment began. People in suits glanced at her sandals. Security eyed her canvas tote. The receptionist asked her 3 times if she was lost. Still, she smiled. She waited her turn. And eventually, she stood in front of the teller, the young woman who sized her up in seconds and placed her in a box. When Altha said she wanted to withdraw 2 million rubles, the teller scoffed. 2 million? Are you buying a car or the whole dealership? I'm making a payment, Altha replied simply. Do you even have 2 million in your account? Would I be here if I didn't? The teller rolled her eyes. People try things. We've had all kinds. Altha calmly took out her bank book and laid it on the counter. The teller flipped through it. Her fingers slowed as she saw the balances. 9,8 miliona rublei, a deposit of 1.4 million just last week. Still, the teller persisted. I'm sorry, withdrawals of this size usually require authorization. And honestly, I've never seen you before. Are you sure this is your account? That's when Altha handed over her ID. Not just any ID, a government seal, a signature, a corporate title. The teller read the name twice, then a third time, because the corporation listed on the ID was the same name etched in brass outside the bank. Altha Cruz Holdings, Incorporated. This wasn't just a client. This was their landlord. Altha didn't just have money in the bank. The bank was renting the property from her. The teller stammered, Ma'am, I didn't know. Altha's voice was soft. That's the problem. You didn't know, and you didn't care. Please don't report this, the teller begged. I could lose my job. Altha tilted her head. Do you think I'm here to ruin anyone? Silence. Altha leaned forward slightly. I came here to help someone I love. I waited in line like everyone else. I didn't expect special treatment. I just expected to be treated like a person. I'm sorry. I'm not the one you should apologize to. You should apologize to every person you've ever judged because they didn't look rich. The teller nodded, eyes glistening. I will. I swear. Altha collected her cash, packed neatly into bundles. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't gloat. She simply walked out. But that wasn't the end. The security guard had seen it all. The manager had walked in at the end. That evening, a staff member quietly uploaded the CCTV footage. The video didn't show Altha's face clearly, but the audio was crystal clear. The laughter, the ID being placed on the counter, the silence that followed. The caption read, "Don't judge a book by its sandals." Within 48 hours, it had over 3 million views. The internet erupted. This is why I treat everyone with respect. The calm ones are always the richest. New life goal: be rich enough to own the bank and still wear slippers. The bank's upper management issued a quiet internal memo about humility and frontline training. The teller wasn't fired, but she was transferred to a much smaller branch, humbled. As for Altha, she never mentioned it again. The daycare was built. Abigail cried when she received the check. You've always taken care of everyone else, Altha told her. Let me take care of you for once. No cameras, no press, just family, just love. A week later, Altha walked past the same bank on her way to lunch. She saw a woman standing outside, struggling to read a form. Do you need help? Altha asked. Yes, the woman smiled shyly. I don't read much Russian. Altha read the paper and helped her fill it out. Do you work here? The woman asked. Altha smiled. Not exactly, but I own the building. The woman laughed like it was a joke. Altha just winked. Because the most powerful people? They don't need to say much. Real wealth doesn't shout. It listens. It moves quietly. And when disrespected, it doesn't seek revenge. It teaches.